Thanks, Lisa, so much for coming and talking to us today.
It's a real privilege. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm actually really, I think I told you, I'm actually genuinely quite super excited because I've heard you speak live. I've been following you a little bit on social media, but also I've watched your YouTube videos of you doing those big ultra marathons.
Oh, really? Your docos? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lying in bed on a Sunday morning watching it. And, well, you know, I'm a very amateur runner, like very amateur, but like the times when I have done like half marathons and I've done a couple of fulls, and, you know, you might get to 10K and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And then I think of you in that desert, you know, and like how you got through being so crook. It's just, it kind of blows your mind. And I think behind it is that mental toughness that is, you know, why it's so important for us to talk to you today and hear that insight that other women can maybe take some stuff away. So I just want to get this right. So you've been ultra marathon runner for over 23 years?
Yeah, nearly 24, 25 years, yeah.
And what's the biggest distance?
So 330 kilometres, you know, in one race sort of thing. But most of them are in the 200 to 250 sort of range. And some of them are multi-day stage races where you stop at night, and others are where you just non-stop. So, and then, you know, running through New Zealand was 2,250 Ks.
Yes, so that's the 52 marathons in 33 days.
Yeah, or 42 days. It took me longer than I was planning. I was planning 33 and actually ended up taking I was slower than I thought. Surprise, surprise.
And on top of, you know, like those ultra marathons and all the running and the coaching that you do, you're also a successful entrepreneur in your own right.
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Serial?
I'm an absolute dedicated entrepreneur, put it that way.
Okay.
Because it's just my personality type. I'm unemployable. No one would want me.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, exactly. I want to make my own way in the world, and that's the way to do it, you know. So I've done a whole lot of different businesses, from, you know, documentary production to TVs to jewelry for a long time, to coaching, writing books, speaking, all that sort of jazz.
2 best-selling books as well.
Third one due out soon. Hopefully it'll
really?
be a good one as well.
Oh, cool. And then obviously we've just been chatting about as well, a big role for you has been helping rehabilitate your mother back from a bad aneurysm, and obviously that's wouldn't be seen as the professional side of things, but massive amount of work and dedication, and perhaps the fight of a life.
Yeah, it is. It's the hardest challenge I've ever faced. It makes running across any desert look like a piece of cake. Because she had, so a massive aneurysm and a stroke, and was left basically in the state of a toddler. You know, not much higher function left, and so it was a pretty devastating time. And my mum's always been my biggest supporter and my biggest sort of role model, and I just wasn't going to leave it at that. And every principle and thing that I've learnt doing ultra marathons and extreme adventures and pushing my body to the absolute, you know, limits, I've been able to use and apply in this really real world situation. And because of that, you know, like, she's gone from being, you know, like a baby and couldn't move anything, remember anything, didn't know who she was, didn't know anything, to now, you know, driving the car and walking and completely back in life again. You know, she's still a little bit wobbly and slow when she walks, but that's all, you know. She's got everything else back, and we're still working. I want 110%. That's my goal.
You want it back better than what she started.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a huge credit to you and your personality that you've persevered, and, you know, the change you made to her life, and most people wouldn't do it. So, and so what you're saying,
you do anything for her.
Yeah, that's right. I think just the patience that you've obviously applied is awesome. But so you're sort of saying, like, the skills you learnt running and whatnot, you've been able to kind of transfer those into being the carer and using that patience, using that all those strategies.
It's all about understanding that the body and the mind are so much capable of so much more than what we believe they are, and I know that. And so when doctors said to me, look, she's never going to do anything much again, and, you know, she's old and she's not going to, and I know that people have always told me my entire life that you can't do that. What you intend to do is impossible. You're never going to, who the hell do you think you are? And I've never ever listened to it.
How do you stop that? Like, how do you stop those thoughts or those things that people say to you? How do you stop that?
I use it as motivation. I use it as, I'm going to show you, and this is going to be epic, and we're going to make this work.
Cool.
And not to say that there's not doubts and fears and moments of absolute despair where you're lying on the ground going, oh my God, what the hell am I doing, and how am I going to get through this? But there's a little voice inside me that's always saying, you can do it, you can do it, you can keep going. And it's that little voice, if we can learn to listen to that little voice and just keep taking one more step, that's when you start to find out what you actually can achieve if you just, with something like Mum's situation, there was no roadmap, there was no path, there was no one to tell me this is the way to go or whatever. Or that you were going to come out the other side. I mean, we have come out the other side. I could have done it all, and it could have been all for nothing. And I did get a lot of criticism from people saying, "Why are you putting her through such arduous, brutal training?" And I had to ignore that and think, well, I'm going to bring her back.
Just believe in that voice.
Yeah, and we have.
Do you think that voice is something that everybody has? Because not everybody is capable, or well, that's not true. Not everybody gets themselves to the point of being capable of running these long distances, of persevering with things like you have.
And you shouldn't have to. I mean, that's not the point.
No, but that's, I guess what I'm saying is there's a challenge, everyone has different challenges in their life that they put ahead of themselves, and those are examples of the ones that are in your life, that some of them that you've chosen to make challenges.
So I've chosen for myself.
But does everybody have that voice? Can everyone tap into it?
Yes, we do, like far more than what we believe. Like we all have these limitations imposed on us from experiences from our childhood, from that teacher that told us we were dumb, from that person who said you were fat when you were 10 years old, or so completely irrelevant things to who you are today. But a lot of those limiting beliefs stay with us throughout our lives. That bad speech you did at school, where you froze on stage when you were 8 years old. I'm never speaking again, and then never having ever publicly spoken again because of that one silly experience. It's those types of things that stop us. And if we can actually look at those and go, hang on, I'm an adult now. That teacher that I had when I was 9 who told me I was dumb really doesn't know me who the hell I am, and that's no longer relevant to who I am today. And maybe I learn in a different way than what the system wanted of me. And I think we're often forced into little boxes. You have to fit within this box. And if you don't fit in the standard boxes, society doesn't really know what to do with you. But if you can find a way to become, strong within yourself, and the more struggles I think that you've experienced, the more chance for growth. I mean, everyone talks about post-traumatic stress, and that can be huge. But there's also a thing called like post-traumatic growth, where you can actually turn the experience that you've had, that negative experience, into something that can actually make you a stronger, more confident, more powerful person. And that's probably the key. Instead of letting those negative experiences knock you down, it's having a cry, bawling your eyes out, going and seeing your girlfriends or whatever you have to do, but getting back up, taking one more step, believing in yourself. When you fail, failure is, we were laughing in the bedroom before about failure. It's a part of our psyche not to want to fail and not to risk. But if you're not failing on a regular basis, then in my opinion, you're not reaching your potential. You haven't pushed hard enough,
Awesome.
So I think it's really important to fail a lot and fail fast and keep learning.
Fastly failing, getting back up. I mean, totally agree. I think all amazing points, and obviously where you've got to today has been, based around that. And
I've failed plenty of times.
We'll get to that. But I just, because you've achieved so much, and, whether it is rehabilitating your mother or whether it's been through running, is there anything that you would say is the one highlight in your life, or the point that you'd say that you'd go back and remember and go, that's...
Well, I mean, obviously Mum would be because it's personally something that hits me. But apart from that, I'd say, like, if I had to pick one race, there was a race in the Himalayas that I did that was 222 Ks over the two highest passes in the world. So we were going up to altitudes around 5,700 metres. That was a massive challenge for me because I'm an asthmatic. I'm no good in the hills. I've got a very small lung capacity. Before the race, I ripped all the ligaments off my left ankle. I'd had a brain concussion, and all this sort of stuff had gone wrong. And it was the toughest event that I've ever done. I mean, a lot of people know me for Death Valley. I ran through Death Valley
the
twice.
Ones I've watched a couple of times.
And that was tough. But this was like...
Tougher than that?
Way tougher than that.
Is there a YouTube video for that one?
Go a whole documentary if anyone wants to. Just contact me. I'll send them the link. and that, you know, it took everything I had out of me. Amazing team that I had working with me, and they got me through the hard patches. But the altitude really knocked the crap out of me. But that race, to finish that race, took me 53 hours and 5 minutes, but I got there.
Oh, it's hard to even comprehend.
Oh, that was really, really tough. And, you know, 3 or 4 asthma attacks later, and hypothermia and heat exhaustion and all sorts of things that can go wrong in the mountains of the Himalayas. And but I had the most amazing team that got me through, you know, and teamwork is another big thing that, you know, I like talking about, because none of us get to the pinnacle of our, you know, success or achievements without the fact that we've had a massive team behind us helping us get there every step of the way in all areas of life, you know. You know, that's why you should never ever be arrogant in your successes, because you're always standing on the shoulders of those who've gone before you or those that have helped you push you up there, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just going back to, you talked about being an asthmatic, and I've read you've had back problems as well, and in the earlier stages, depression that you've overcome. And obviously not even picked to be a runner, but, you know, by some people. So
no,
you
not
know,
the right body shape or anything.
Well, it doesn't look. You look pretty good to me. But so if we look back over everything you've done in your life, and if rehabilitating mum is, you know, the highlight, what would you say has been the one single, or if there is one single, biggest challenge you've overcome, and what you've applied to do that?
I think, like, for me as a young woman, I was so lacking in confidence. I think I was so busy trying to find a partner, you know, a man, and that I wish I could go back and say, find out who you are first before you go diving into this relationship, that relationship, you know, having had a very abusive relationship in my early 20s, that I actually learned a lot from, but it took me a long time to recover. My self-esteem was at its, you know, rock bottom, and I really credit running with giving me that, you know, that helping me stand back up again and get that confidence in finding my way out again. If I was to go back and talk to my young self, I would say, look, find out who you are before you go into a relationship. I wouldn't listen to myself, course,
right.
But and value yourself, and value who you are as a person, as a woman. You don't have to be in a relationship to be a successful woman. And I think there's a lot of pressure on us to be, to have that. And, you know, like 11 years ago, I was married to another Austrian man, and, you know, the marriage fell over, and that was another rock bottom in life, you know. And it took me a long time to stand back up. And part of that whole identity, who am I if I don't have a partner, and that, you know, I lost everything. So at the age of 38, I had to come back to New Zealand after 13 years overseas. I'd lost my business, my house, the country I was living with, the husband that I was with. All my dreams shattered at 38, and come back with nothing, and then to start again. Those were some really hard lessons to learn. But I'm the better for it. Like, I'm
so you
stronger.
wouldn't change
I know
anything.
what I want, you know. I know who I am now, and I have a wonderful husband who is the, you know, the epitome of loyalty and wonderfulness. But I wish I'd
waited for him.
I mean, we never know when you're going to meet the right one, but I wish I'd developed my own identity first. Before trying to find that missing piece of me in a partner.
Maybe you are who you are today, though, because you know, obviously, because you went through that.
Always turn everything into a positive if you can.
I mean, it's hard to understand. Well, it's not hard to understand, but it's probably good for other people to understand, or other women to be able to understand that as strong as you are and all the things that you've achieved, that you are still vulnerable as a person to an abusive relationship.
Oh, yeah, and definitely the. You know, people say, why would you stay in an abusive relationship? They do not understand the dynamic, how it happens over a longer period of time, that the power shifts. I mean, I was in a foreign country, a whole lot of things. And not to slam him or blame him. He was a young guy as well, and we were both young and stupid. But the thing is, things happen, and it's very hard to get out of that situation sometimes.
Once you're in it, and
it's can take a lot. It's also very dangerous for a lot of women to try to get out. It's not as simple as just leaving. You know, and there's a whole lot of reasons. Always, please don't judge people if you're not walking in their shoes. If you haven't understood where they've come from, the problems that they've faced, don't judge people. Help them in the best way that you can by reaching out, by being there, being a good friend, being a good someone that listens and helps. But yeah, understand that the dynamic isn't as simple as what a lot of people think. You know?
Yeah, it's not as black and white.
It's not black and white. No.
And from following you on social media, I see that, you know, you do have your mother and your husband really involved in your life.
Yeah.
And you give a lot to them and obviously get a lot of support back from
huge.
them too.
Yeah.
How important is it to you to have good people, surround yourself with good people now at this stage of your life?
At any stage in life.
Yeah.
Search out mentors, search out coaches, search out people who you want to be like.
Yeah.
And model yourself after them, learn from them, sit at the feet of masters. And anything that I do, I'm constantly learning, developing, and I go and search out the best person who knows about this and teaches me about that, and try to learn from them. And we live in a day and age where we've got access to the best people in the world, you know, through podcasts, through the internet, YouTube, you name it. You don't actually have to have even a personal relationship with a good mentor. You can go and find them, learn from them, and take all the positive stuff. There's no excuse for not having good mentors in your life nowadays when you've got access to everything that we have.
And using that to grow.
And using that to grow and develop and change who you are and become wiser as a person, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And so do you feel like people, or have you ever come across situations, you talked about a bit of criticism in the past in regards to your mother and whatnot, but do you feel like as women, that other women are intimidated by your success? Or have you ever come across situations where, because we're lucky with We Are Women, we meet these amazing women, everyone's really open and prepared to share, and it's awesome, you know, and you can bounce off each other and it's cool. But I am aware there are situations where, for different reasons, you know, women face criticism from other women, and that's something personally that I would like to try and stop as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you experienced that sort of negativity, or?
Definitely the intimidation thing, which is never my intention.
Yes.
But a perception, and this is, I think, a problem with social media.
Yeah.
That. You know, we all show, and I do too, the sunny side of life. I mean, you don't see the Friday night crying over a wine bottle, you know, on social media, do you? You don't. And so sometimes we get a skewed view of how everyone's lives are. We get the sunny parts and we don't see the reality. And so in all the things like the podcasting, the coaching and the stuff that I do, I try to bring in the reality of it too, that it's not just all this glamorous, lovely, wonderful life that we live. That's a part thing of it, you know, but it's not the whole. And I think sisterhood is just so important, that we lift each other up, that we stop competing against each other and actually help each other up in whatever realm that you're in, and encourage other women. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're successfully helping other people do. And we're just there for each other as sisters, you know, like you would be there for your sister.
Yeah, agree.
Rather than going, oh my God, she's skinnier than me, she's beautiful, and I don't like her just because she's blonde.
We're past that now, right? Aren't we? You know, we've moved on. I think as a society, we're moving on from that, eh?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think,
it just interests me as to whether or not, you know, people are still experiencing that on sort of a day-to-day basis.
I think so, I think there's still a little bit of that goes around, you know, that jealousy thing. Don't be jealous. You never know what that other person's gone through, is going
to get
through.
To where they are.
And looks can be deceiving, you know. Take people as whole, you know, whole beings.
If you weren't running, if it hadn't been running, what would it have been?
Oh.
Do you have any other dreams that you kind of secretly think about?
I have lots of dreams. And I'm such a curious person, and I have a tendency to chase shiny objects all the time and go off and
is that the jeweler?
Literally. But I end up, you know, running all these different companies and, you know, being scatterbrained completely because I can't focus on one thing. I'm all over the show, which makes for an interesting life, but it also makes for a very scattered life and chaotic life. And at the moment for me, it's about really succeeding with mum firstly, and business is huge for me. So really cracking the code, so to speak, and making things work, and that's a massive challenge, and it excites me. Yeah. And then as I'm turning 50 in a couple of months, and I want to be epically fit and strong and capable, you know, as I move into my next 3-4 decades or whatever I've got ahead of me.
Awesome.
is to be the fittest, strongest, youngest version of me that I can be, and not giving up. Currently, I'm not doing the long distance running just because I don't have the time. And I've also gotten to a stage where I've pretty much done everything I wanted to do there. Yeah. And so now for me, I want to have a healthy, strong, functional body. So I'm not quite sure where the competitive side's going to go because I don't have the opportunity right now. Yeah. But I train like a maniac still. You do. And I do, but it's shorter and it's different and it's a lot more.
And you still love it? You still
get pleasure from it? And I'm actually enjoying the change up from doing the long, slow stuff, which has some negative things to it too. Yes. It's very time consuming for a starter. You have to give up your entire life. Yeah. So I'm not missing that. Yeah. And I'm enjoying having a little bit more muscles and being stronger.
What's a short distance from you?
For me now, like a short distance is what it is for everyone else. It's a 5 or 6K run.
Okay. I thought you were going to say, I'm only doing 30K
now.
No,
not at all. No, like I don't have the time. I do not have the time. I'm working, I work all day with mum. I work all night on my businesses. Yes. So if I'm lucky if I get an hour or half an hour, sometimes it's 10 minutes in between things to smash out a workout.
Have you had any long-term injuries or anything from the running that, will always be with you because of, the stresses that's placed on your body?
Yes, so I've got some, last year I had quite a major health scare where I've got tumours in my uterus. So they're not cancerous ones, thank God, but they were massive blood loss. So
from running?
So what's happened, or what I think's happened after all the research that I did, is I have damaged my kidneys. My electrolytes aren't working right. I'm not detoxifying correctly with my kidneys. So my and this might or might not be right, but I believe that's why the tumours have come, because I've got hormone imbalances and things like that. So that's been a massive challenge to try to get on top of my health in that respect. So, adrenal exhaustion, thyroid problems, a whole lot of things that have come into play because of what I did do to my body. And I didn't really realise at the time that I was damaging myself on a long-term basis. Yeah. And now I know what I have done. And
would you go back and do it still though?
Probably. Yeah. I might have missed one or two of those races where I really cooked my organs.
To the brink.
Yeah, where the temperatures were so high, the dehydration was so bad that it's caused this sort of damage. But I've been working with a wonderful guy, Gary Mollo, actually down in Wellington, who's really trying to help me sort my body out and make me stronger again. So last year, it was horrific. I was in hospital every week. I was having transfusions all the time, and nearly died a couple of times from blood loss. Oh wow! But I still refused to have a hysterectomy, which was I was told I needed to have, and I said no, I want to find a way, and I have found a way, and I haven't had to have a hysterectomy, and I've got on top of it. Touch wood.
Well, like sitting here talking to you right now, you A, do not look like you're turning 50 soon, but B, you look the picture of health. You would never know. Again, I guess that's what you were talking about earlier, about you don't know what everyone's going through, but you would never ever guess any of those.
Well, I am much better now because we got on top of it, and the losing the blood has stopped. It's gone back to normal sort of cycle, and so I am much stronger. But last year I did look like a white ghost, and very there were days where I couldn't it took me an hour to get to the loo, where I couldn't lift my head off the pillow without passing out because I didn't have enough blood in the body. So it was pretty
extreme.
Scary. It was really scary, really extreme, and that's typical that I didn't actually go and have a hysterectomy because I'm just very stubborn and wanted to know why this has happened. Yeah. And I did manage to get to the bottom of it in the end, but it took me a year and a bit. So
to get there.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, other than your health issues, which obviously pretty significant, has there anything else that's come at a cost of your success, do you feel?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I think I've pushed myself to, I'm very driven, I'm very ambitious. I was, under a lot of pressure as a kid to be successful. Like, grew up in a family where physical toughness was what was valued, and so I've tortured myself to a large degree. If I look back over the amount of pain that I've suffered in my life because of my ambition and the willpower and wanting to prove something, I'd like to have more fun in my life going forward and not have to have all that just
I have to
taught.
be.
I have to. Yeah, I'm over-proving myself.
Yeah. Well, I think you've proved yourself. You're good.
But you know, when
Yeah.
you grow up with that mentality that this is what's valued, the tougher you are, the more you got praised.
Yeah.
So if you ever showed any weakness, it was, you know, you were put down or you were in trouble. So, and I laughed with my brother about this the other day, you know, and he's like, we're both over it. We're both over proving ourselves. You know, for him it was in surfing and rugby and, you know, throwing yourself over bloody 15-foot, 20-foot waves. And he's like, I'm over it actually. And I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think moving forward, I'd like to have a little bit more fun.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life a little bit more.
So that's the main goal going forward for Lisa Tamati, the lady who's done it all?
Yeah, and I want to have a massive impact in the world, and that sounds totally cheese, I realise. But, you know, when you, like, in my business, in my coaching, I have a mindset academy where I teach, like, mental toughness and emotional resilience and all these sort of skills that I've just talked about. I want to have a massive impact on a maximum amount of people that I can, and I use now the technologies that are available to us to reach as many people as possible with the messages that I want to get across. And if I can leave this world having changed thousands of people's lives, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
If I can save people from going down, like even in the running coaching, save them making the mistakes that I made, shortcut the journey for them, tell them, hey, do not do this, do that, follow this rules, and same with the confidence and the mental sort of stuff, the mindset stuff. If I can help people get there faster without having to suffer as much and without having to reinvent the world, then I think I would be happy and successful in my life if I can get to that.
I mean, don't underestimate probably how much you've already done that for people, and I just know from myself, but, you know, you probably don't realise, but with the speaking you've been doing and the YouTube stuff and the documentaries and the Next magazine, like, there's probably a lot of people out there that you've touched that don't actually even, you wouldn't even know you have. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're doing a run and you're like, well, if Lisa Tamati can bloody do this with diarrhea, like, pull your shit together, you know? So don't underestimate that.
I hope so, and I hope that moving forward there's a lot more that I can do for people within, you know, the limitations of being one person. But we have this amazing, we live in a time that is just unprecedented, the power that we have at our fingertips to help other people. Yes, I want to be successful in business. Yes, I want to make money. But the more important thing is to have a massive impact in the world with the skill set that I've got, you know, and hopefully make a lot of people stronger and happier.
So if people wanted to join your courses or speak to you directly or get some coaching from you, how would they go about doing it?
Just hit me up online. I'm all over the place, but my website is lisatamati.co.nz. Check out my Mindset Academy that's on there, and running coaching. I've got a company called Running Hot Coaching, which is named after my first book, Running Hot. So that's just runninghotcoaching.com, and that's what we do on a day-to-day basis, is help people achieve their running goals. So those are the two, you know, areas. I'm on Facebook everywhere. Probably annoy the crap out of everybody because I'm always on there every day. Instagram and all that, at Lisa Tamati. But yeah, just email me, lisa@lisatamati.co.nz, and it might take me a day or two to get back to you with, you know, my
some
inbox
direction.
being insane, but I do try to answer people and get back to them if you've got specific challenges or questions and stuff that you need help with.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming today and for sharing with us and inspiring other women.
Hopefully, woman, just believe in yourself and go out there and be epic.